Shall I proceed, Madam Chair?
Please.
On October 8th, 2014, I received a message from an employee asking if the employee could have if I would be willing to have a conversation with me, and I agreed. The employee then called me and recounted events of an incident where allegedly a subordinate was confronted by Superintendent Gardner and Walter Solzak, Director of Operations, individually about actions or inactions on the subordinate's part last school year. The employee explained that the subordinate informed the employee that the subordinate was directly threatened by Ms. Gardner that she would come after him if he did not cooperate with her on assessing blame for last year's mistakes regarding MCAS and EPP procedures. Feeling these allegations appeared to be a violation of the superintendent's authority in confronting a subordinate without the employee's knowledge and a serious lack of professionalism on the part of the superintendent by making threats to shred documents along with threats of retribution, including termination, I asked the employee to inquire as to whether or not the subordinate would be willing to provide a written account of this meeting with the superintendent and Mr. Solzak. Since then, I have received a written statement from the subordinate and a corroborating statement from the employee recounting statements regarding utilization of a school resource officer and a statement from another subordinate regarding MCAS events. Collectively, these documents included several alleged incidents of what appeared to be serious accounts of unprofessional behavior by the superintendent, the allegations in summary described. Ms. Gardner told a subordinate that she would come after him if he mentioned to anyone about a meeting with him and Mr. Solzak and her. Ms. Gardner told the subordinate that she would shred documents related to MCAS testing procedures. Ms. Gardner told the employee that the employee needs to convince the subordinate to produce a statement that acknowledges that a former employee instructed this subordinate to sign MCAS-related documents. When the employee refused, Ms. Gardner told the employee that the employee was trusting the wrong person. Ms. Gardner told the employee that she would not have hired the employee if she knew she had a certain disease. Ms. Gardner instructed the employee contrary to the employee's professional opinion regarding utilization of the school resource officer. Ms. Gardner reporting to the public that serious mistakes related to MCAS testing were made by the previous administration and that people were dishonest when in fact she was advised by district personnel that the initial assessment of MCAS records from last year were preliminary. I consulted our attorneys, American O'Connell, to obtain advice on the proper procedure for bringing these complaints forward, and as a result of the advice given, I provided the documents in hand to our school committee chair on Friday, October 17th. And those are all of the documents that I received regarding this, and I promptly, as soon as I received everything, I handed them over to the chair.